A very good morning and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to take a look on what is happening in Namibia, and the opposition parties have confirmed that they are rallying behind the IPC's agent application, which they are challenging the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. So it's very interesting to see such things happening at this point in time. This is the news. This is the announcement. The opposition parties in Namibia, they are actually uniting to challenge the 2024 elections, which they believe were actually influenced by ZANU-PF, were rigged, and did not produce the wishes or the will of the people of Namibia. So it's very interesting to see such things happening at this point in time. And, it's very, very important to note that the elections in Namibia were not free, they were not fair. A lot of people were disenfranchised from that election. And, that is the same template which we saw right here in Zimbabwe. In Namibia, it was even worse because they actually mastered it to a certain level. So you can actually see that what they did is they actually made sure that in each and every area or in each and every stronghold of the opposition, they made sure that people were not voting properly. And a lot of people, hundreds of thousands, did not manage to vote on the first voting day. On the second day, people went out. They failed also to vote. On the third day, they went out. They also failed to vote because everything was pre-planned to be just like that. So it's a very sad situation that the Namibians are going through, what we have gone through as Zimbabweans, what the people of Mozambique have gone through again. And it seems as if ZANU-PF is extended its tentacles everywhere, and they are doing whatever they want to make sure that they stop opposition to come in play. So if you look at the voter turnout, the people had turned out in very, very big numbers on the election day. But if you look at the number of votes or of voters so far, it's something else, because after half, they have not even reached the expected numbers. So we were supposed to be having like a turnout of around 80%, given that a lot of people went out to vote. We were supposed to have a turnout of around 80% this time around, but it seems as if the turnout is still low, and no one knows the reasons why. In Namibia, the other advantage is that even if people may fail to vote in the parliamentary elections, where they have to vote in particular constituencies, on the presidential, they can vote from anywhere they are, which means that the majority of the people who are stationed in Namibia would have voted on the presidential election from anywhere across Namibia. But because of the tactics and systems implemented, their rights to vote were then denied. And it's in the public domain. The president of Namibia, the current president of Namibia, actually acknowledged that anomaly. The Electoral Commission acknowledged that anomaly. Everyone acknowledged that anomaly. Imagine ballot papers getting finished at 3 p.m. and the station is supposed to be closing at 9 p.m. Imagine how many people were disenfranchised if you are to look at it. And at this point in time, at the point where the opposition is believed to have been improving, we are seeing the opposition performing dismally. Why? It's because of such kind of tactics and tricks. So it's very, very important to note that wherever ZANU-PF goes, there is chaos. Go to South Africa, ZANU-PF was involved. We know what happened in South Africa. Mozambique involved, Namibia involved. Only in Botswana, because of strong institutions, they managed to stop the ZANU-PF people right there. So this is what is happening. The opposition is threatened to go to court, and they're actually preparing to launch an agent chamber application to nullify the election. And the position is that whether they've won or not, they will have to challenge how these elections were conducted. Derek Goto, ZANU-PF MAKUSHA, says it's utterly embarrassing how you continue to flounder through African election cycles with absolutely nothing tangible to show for it. By now, any reasonable person could have accepted that this political communications game is completely beyond their grasp. So ZANU-PF people, they don't want to admit that they've become a problem in the region. And also Namibia SOM final preliminary report from Southern African human rights lawyers, election observers is out, and we will be looking at it. We will be looking at their findings so as to understand what really happened and what really transpired right there in Namibia. We know that it's very, very difficult. We talked about this before the elections and said in Namibia, you don't expect much from the courts, because these courts, they have proven to be captured in the past when they were dealing with the EFF protesters who they were denying bail the same way they do it in Zimbabwe. But we said maybe with the new president coming on board, maybe there is a change. But this new president has presided over the worst elections ever, which means there is no change whatsoever to talk about. And the courts, we don't expect the courts to actually do something better, but we'll continue to give them benefit of doubt. We'll see when this measure is brought to court, we'll see how the courts are going to actually determine. This is a very clear case of rigged elections, stolen elections. And in any normal country, we could have seen that the courts were simply going to nullify these elections, call for other elections, and make sure that they give an order that ZANU-PF does not interfere, or they do not want to see ZANU-PF members any close to those elections. But we talked about this issue when that company Renform CC was brought close, and so we said ukaona pangosvika company pane chiri kuitwa chekuseri, pane vari kutorohwa election, and it has happened because this is how these people operate. So the new rigging tactics, they no longer manipulate the votes themselves kuti kuchinja numbers. No, they simply make sure that people don't vote in the strongholds of the opposition, and then even they bus people in their own strongholds. They make it appear as if they are loved by the people. And also, I don't believe in the electoral system which is in Namibia. It does have a lot of loopholes. So it is what it is. We'll continue to watch and see the next move by the opposition leaders. But these are the pictures. They are united together. These are the three biggest oppositions in Namibia, and others are not in this picture, but these are the top three from the left right there. So we'll be waiting to see how they're going to deal with this matter. How are the courts going to treat this matter? Are they going to treat it fairly, or they will cement what is already there? Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts as we continue to look deep